Well, good morning, everybody. Um, I did a short earlier regarding how the world perceives or often is mistaken in regards to good and evil being equal forces, each needing the other to keep balance in nature. In a short, I feel like I'm in a sprint. But now that I'm going to do an expanded version, I'll try to keep it short, 6 minutes or so, but I can be more in depth. So, recapping what I said in that short, if you had not seen it, a lot of the world thinks that, like yin and yang, Eastern religions are not to be trusted because there's no truth in them. If that offends anybody, I'm sorry about that, but I'm not sorry. So the concept is yin and yang. Well, evil and good are not balanced. They're not balanced, So like harmony in the universe, nonsense. Evil is evil and good is good, and that's all there is to it. Now, how much do they depend on each other? Not very much. And some of this information I'm giving you from a book I read about 30 years ago, maybe 25. I gave it to my daughter, Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis, a very brilliant man. I think you would love it. I'd like to give him a shout out for that. Anyway, so the concept is if you look at good and evil, they are not dependent on each other in the least. As a matter of fact, evil is fully dependent on good. Good needs nothing from evil. What do you need from good? Excuse me. What do you need from evil to be good at being good? You need nothing. Nothing at all. Because everything good you have with you already. Now, evil is completely dependent on good. And what are the good things that make evil good? Or effective, I should say? Intelligence, perseverance, dedication, commitment, strategy, life itself. All of these things are good. You want a Lex Luthor. You don't want a doofus. Like his little sidekick. I've forgotten Superman with Gene Wild. No, not Gene Wilder. Gene Hackman. He played Lex Luthor. You want evil wants brilliant people representing them, and to be brilliant, you have to steal from good. You have to. Um, Actually, evil is goodness that is spoiled. And as a result, you have to take from good. And like I said in the other video, if you were to personify the two, good would stand on its own, tall and capable, and evil would be crumpled into a corner in a pile of whatever flesh or whatever it is, spirit, but it would be piled. It would be just a lump. And good has to actually bend over and help it up and sustain its stature because evil cannot prosper on its own. Another concept that C.S. Lewis brings up is can you do evil for evil's sake? No, you can't. You could do goodness for goodness sake. For example, let's say you're grumpy that morning, but you see a woman walking towards a door and you may be in a lousy mood. I'm never in a lousy mood. I'm not a moody person. As Christians, we're to be level. We are to be consistent. We are to be refrained, self-controlled. You don't have a little emotionalisms and then go and spread it on to everybody. No, that's what children do. I don't care if they're in their 80s. That's what children do. So you come to the point where you may be very unhappy that day, let's say, but you see somebody walking towards the door, an older woman or anybody, and you feel compelled to open it, you'll open it. Though that's the last thing you want to do. You're grinding your teeth, but you'll do it for goodness sake. But can evil do evil for evil's sake? Not even close. They'll always get some filthy little return, some kind of a perversion of a return. Um, they'll do evil, but they're the center, and it's always diabolical. Can't do evil for evil's sake. Nope. Other things that the Christian world seems peculiar about is the concept of like Mother Nature. Mother Nature. They keep talking about. These scientists. They look ridiculous. They create these 17-mile long underground labyrinths where send particles up to whatever speed, hoping to collide them, and get a spark of life. Well, they can't. They can't do anything like that. And what do? They write it off to Mother Nature. Well, what is Mother Nature, really? Does Mother Nature help you? Does Mother Nature have a face? No, it doesn't. When you boil Mother Nature down, it equals to nothing, zero. Mother Nature doesn't exist. It's a tree hugger way of thinking. Well, nature, yeah, wrong. If you look at nature, it testifies to a creator because you watch the little bear gets his foot caught in a trap. The mother is absolutely upset, just like any other mother. Um, the little giraffe gets a kiss by its mom right on top of his head. So pretty. You've seen that picture. So the concept is Mother Nature doesn't exist. And man basically thinks by giving Mother Nature the credit, they gives the impression that Mother Nature has a purpose. But if Mother Nature boils down to nothing, how can nothing want to improve? Intelligent design is how this world was created. And look at the complexity of us. Look at our molecules. Look at the cell. How nutrients transfuse in and out of a membrane that surrounds the cell. It eliminates waste product. It takes in proper nutrition. It's a living organism, that cell, and as a result, um, God is testified everywhere, even in nature, everywhere. If you get a cut before that infraction is complete, the body is already starting to heal. It's addressing it. It wants to clot the blood. It wants to start and send resources to that area to start to heal you. Man can't even get close to even thinking or even replicating anything that the Lord has done through intelligent design. And yet man closes his eyes and he wants to be God. He wants to be acknowledged in the high places. People, they want to be acknowledged in the streets. No, no, no. These are charlatans. These are frauds. These are miserable, ugly people that believe that we came from monkeys, and yet we have monkeys. Evolution? Where? Trying to look for the missing link. You know, the more that man does this, the more he spits in God's face. And when they do that, it's a stench in God's nostrils. A stench. He's highly offended by that ridiculousness, and he's going to repay them. So, the thought is that man saying that good and evil are equals. That's just another way of spitting in his face. And the concept of Mother Nature, which doesn't exist, and he cannot replicate anything. Man cannot replicate anything in regards to anything that God has produced. He barely understands DNA, barely. Um, replicate it? Never. Never. So, my friends, what I'm saying here is that good outflanks evil like an Empire State Building to a thimble. And Mother Nature, that thing that man worships and idolizes and looks up to, boils down to nothing. So, in essence, man, carnal man, is dumber than nothing. Thank you, everyone. And and my daughter, hi. I hope everybody has a good day, and God bless you.